Hey everyone, and welcome to another video review, this time taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight Deluxe Barricade. Just released, well, the official street date is today, April 24th, but I was able actually to pick this guy up yesterday at Toys R Us in the area. A few local stores here in Canada decided, I guess, that they were going to put these guys out early, which I have no problem with because now I've got them. Really happy with it actually so far. Pretty, it was, I guess a lot of people are kind of skeptical about the new line, smaller bots, different, designs and all that kind of thing. But, overall, I'm pretty happy with this new figure. So first off, I'm going to take a look at the new updated packaging that they're doing for Deluxe toys now, which, as you can see, is a lot different than the Deluxes we've seen in the past. Normally they come in a bubble package on a card. Now they're actually going with boxes. But really nice, lots of detail, great picture of Barricade. They're still going with the sideways Transformers logo, Premier Edition, which is really the only edition we're getting for movie toys. Wraparound picture on the side here, Deluxe-class. Not much in terms of, details on the back there, but as you can see, he's part of the line with Bumblebee, Berserker, and Scorn is the other one in this line. Transforms in 11 steps. Nice looking picture there. And then what little we get for a bio, which is, I don't know why they're not putting bios on these things anymore, but all we get for Barricade is Sinister Trickster, which he would never been described like that in any way that I could ever see, but why not? That's what they're calling him now. But one of the things that I wanted to call it specifically is, the size of the package compared to a Voyager package. So I also got Grimlock, which I'll do a video review on him a little later, but you can see the Deluxe and the Voyager packaging is almost exactly the same size. So, I mean, even though the toys are, noticeably bigger, you'll see the difference between a Voyager size and a Deluxe size in a few minutes, but the packaging is almost the same. Yeah, so as far as packaging goes, that's pretty much it. Also, instructions, very simple, it's just one piece, but does show, bot to car and car to bot, so you do get both in the instructions. As far as the figure itself goes, pretty nice actually, in terms of things like the sculpt, the detail in the sculpt, and the paint apps are pretty nice as well. You can see that on his knees there's a little bit of white paint app. There's black and blue plastic and paint on his legs. Nice little paint apps on the lights on his front there, and then you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but in the detail on his abdomen there is actually silver paint, or kind of like a dark gray paint, so it's not just all black plastic, there is actually some paint added in there. Lights, and then on his face the Decepticon logo is there, and then he's got 4 red eyes. Very cool. As you turn him around, you can see there's a little bit of white on there. He does have a backpack, big backpack, which, is a bit of a negative. But, if you ever display your toys like that on your shelf, I can see why that would be a negative. But all in all, I mean, it's just the way these things are going now. So we can either make our peace with it, or we just continually complain the whole time. And, I'm just going to move on. So yeah, but the one thing actually that I did want to call out on the backpack is, people are wondering, can you take the backpack off, whatever, and you can indeed. So you flip those out, and this hinge right there is just a friction hinge, so you can pop that off, pop off the backpack, fold that in, and then you have Barricade with no backpack. So if you hate the backpack, you can take it off. And yeah, he's got this thing sticking out here, but yeah, could be worse. But yeah, so yes, you can take it off if you want. Doesn't turn into a shield or anything like that, like some people were hoping that you could. Maybe you can mod it in such a way that it would, but it just pops on and off. It's pretty easy, no worries if you want to take it off. In terms of accessories, I really dig the accessories that this guy comes with. A lot of people have, commented on how they really dig it, and I do as well. It's, he's got his pistol, very cool little, cop pistol that can plug into his thigh there for weapon storage, which is always a nice touch. He's got this kind of multi-barrel blaster, stun gun thing, taser, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but I'm assuming it's just, you know, barrels of blaster or something like that, and that just pops on and off. You unfold it, and there's these little kind of tabs in there that just plug on the underside of his arm, and then it just wraps around. So I'll just take that off for now. And then he gets his nightstick, which is a really cool addition for the bad cop to have, and you can kind of put it in there like that, so you can hold it like that, or like that, and it's an actual, like, you know, stick that he can go like that. And then of course it has the you know, the peg to store in his leg. Obviously you saw that because it was on there when I started doing the review. But yeah, very cool. No paint apps on any of his accessories, which is disappointing, because this beige plastic, I don't know why they did his gun in gray plastic and then these in beige, but these are definitely going to get a paint job by me before too long, because this beige plastic looks, whoa, it's just, that's not what you want in a Transformers figure in any capacity, dull beige plastic. So those are going to get a paint overhaul. And then you can also see, like, there are some other pieces, like his thighs here, you know, his arm there, which are, you know, just dull, that beige plastic, which I'll touch those up with some paint as well, to make him match kind of the art that's on the box, you know, because that looks way better. So I'll do some paint work on him. And then, yeah, he does, of course, have the knuckle dusters, brass knuckles that they're calling them, that say, you know, protect and serve. So that as he's punching an Autobot, they get embedded with those ironic words. But yeah, so that's pretty cool too. I mean, the detail on him is really nice. I do dig it. It is you know, a simplified figure. The transformation is pretty simple. But before I get into the transformation, I want to do some size comparisons with some other figures. So there's our Barricade. Focus. I'll just get the packaging out of the way. And let's compare to, first and foremost, Dark of the Moon Deluxe Barricade, which is the last Deluxe Barricade figure we got. And as you can see, Dark of the Moon Barricade is taller. However, one of the complaints that people always had about the Dark of the Moon Barricade was that the legs are pretty spindly and kind of, you know, kind of crummy. And that his torso is really, really short. This guy here has better proportions, in my opinion, than this guy. I still really like this figure because it's a really nice version of it, but it does have its shortcomings, and I'll be the first to admit that. The new figure, nicer legs, you know, better proportions overall, even though he is shorter. Where the new figure definitely dominates the old figure is in the accessories, because if you'll recall, this is what we got with Dark of the Moon Barricade, which I never got these mech tech weapons. They are a lot of plastic and a lot of money to manufacture that could have gone into making the figures better. I don't dig the gimmick weapons. I would much rather prefer simple, cool accessories like this, you know, maybe that mimic what they actually have in the movie a little bit better than, you know, gimmicky toys for the sake of doing gimmicky toys. So, yeah. But yeah, so definitely, you know, a nice update to the Barricade figure in Deluxe, even though it is a little bit smaller. But what you'll see is that it's not going to scale well with Dark of the Moon figures. It's just not. But what it does scale with is the Age of Extinction figures. And there you can see them with Deluxe Bumblebee from Age of Extinction, and they scale really well together, which is great because they are, you know, mortal enemies as you would. So those guys scale really well together. Also, let's bring in Crosshairs as a sort of a 3-bot comparison, and they look really good together. So yeah, Barricade definitely scales well with the updated deluxe size car bots. I think they look great. Just to give you an idea as well of how he scales with a Voyager size figure. There's Hound, my custom painted Hound, which is from the Age of Extinction line, obviously, and he is, you know, a decent comparison to a Voyager size figure from that line. So those two guys would look really good on a shelf next to each other as well. So definitely keeping with the scale that they established in the Age of Extinction line. So let's get to the transformation quickly, which I know has been done by other reviewers, but I'll just go through it quick. So basically start by just sort of flipping the chest up, folding the backpack out, and then the arms, which kind of pivot down. You can kind of see that hinge is down. But one thing that you'll want to do as well is you can kind of see in there's another hinge, and these actually bend. So twist the arm down, and then that actually bends up. Kind of, it's hard to see, but kind of bends up like that, and then the arm collapses on itself into this sort of cavity in the armpit there. Rotate the forearm sort of like a 90 degree, and then there's a little tab on the side in there. I don't know if you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. Little tab there that fits into a slot on his wrist. And when you do that, you'll want to turn his fist so that it looks like that. And you just sort of pop that in there. And there's one arm. So that's how it looks. So let's do the same thing on this guy. Tilt the arm up, give it a little bit of a pivot. Tilt that up. It is tricky, you get used to it. I've done this probably 3 or 4 times so far since I've taken them out of the box. It does get easier, but the first time is a bit of a pain in the butt. Get that in there, like that. And there's his arms. So these panels just kind of flip down here for now. We'll get to those again in a second. Feet. So this back panel here folds up, and then the whole kind of thing collapses like that to form one of the back part of his car. So this one as well. Fold it in, collapse it, and then you rotate both of the feet in together like that. Kind of stick them together. There's a little tab that fits into the other side. Stick them together. There we go. And then you've got that. So this now kind of pegs. There's a little tab in there. Goes into the top there, so that kind of pegs in there. Do the same thing on this side. There we go. And then lastly, kind of collapse the backpack or the top part of the car. Little tabs there, 2 little tabs that go into holes on the back, and snap it together. Kind of wiggle this a little bit. There's a little tab right in there. I don't know if you can see. That needs to go inside the quarter panel on the back. Just kind of wiggle that around. Same thing on this side. You can kind of see it there. This needs to go on the inside there. Come on. It can be a little tricky sometimes. There we go. And this. Sorry. There we go. Just gonna peg everything together. Again, you get used to it. The more you do it, a couple of times, you become a pro. And there you have Barricade in his cool police car mode. Very nice. Very, very nice. There is a black piece on the hood, or a black section on the hood. So it's dark blue plastic and then black in the middle. See, this is painted on. Nice Decepticon logo. Police, to punish and enslave on the back. Rear lights painted. Front lights painted. You know, the flashers on the front painted. The light bar on the top is kind of like a grayish. It's kind of like smoky kind of color. It's not quite as like vibrant, you know, as the light bar was on the back of Dark of the Moon Barricade. But still, it's there. It's nice. So overall, it's a pretty nice looking car mode. There's lots of weapon storage as well. You know, you can take his gun and that little tab on it. You just sort of peg it into his arm, and that can store under there. If I can get it lined up properly. Maybe it goes on the back here. Yeah, you can peg it on the back and his leg too. There's a couple of different options for storage. Nightstick can go under there as well. Still rolls, very nice, with the gun stored on there. And then this blaster sort of unfolds. There's holes on the back, it just pegs in. And then you can kind of have that look. You can just take it off though if you don't want it there. I wish you could kind of store that underneath there, but yeah, not really. But yeah, nice. So what I'll do now is I'll just pause the video, but you guys won't see it because it'll just be a quick cut, and I'll transform some of my other cars so you can see size comparison with the other car bots from this this sort of generation that I've got. Okay, so here we see The new last night Deluxe Barricade compared to the previous Deluxe Barricade that we got, the Dark of the Moon Barricade. And as you can see, they are about the same length, but the new one is noticeably wider, and really kind of gives, overall, I think, a better scale looking car, especially when you put it next to like the new, or the sort of the newer version of Bumblebee, the Age of Extinction Bumblebee. You know, these guys scale really well together. Overall, you know, pretty much the same size, but you know, you want your, I guess you want your cop cars to look a little bit tougher than your sports cars. But yeah, so you can kind of see that in spite of the fact that the Dark of the Moon Barricade is, you know, a taller figure, the Last Night Barricade is overall a better looking vehicle mode, I think. So yeah, definitely an improvement there. But I mean, this is still a great looking, you know, still a great looking bad cop car. But this, I think, just works really, really well. So definitely happy to get it. And it definitely scales well with the newer car bots that we're getting. So yeah, so that's sort of my look at Barricade. Hope you guys liked it. So thanks very much. Appreciate it.